Hello, Keith Rucker here at VintageMachinery.org. I'm filming this kind of between, I guess, what I'm going to call the Christmas break in 2014. So it's between Christmas and New Year's. It's some time when every year I'm able to take some time off work. My wife is able to take time off work. The kids are out of school. So, we have a lot of things going on family oriented during this time, like many people do during the holidays. And our situation is pretty much like everybody else's. So a couple of days ago, my wife and I made a trip up to her grandmother's house, who lives probably about an hour and a half from here. Her grandmother is quite honestly getting kind of elderly. She's actually having to live in an assisted living home now. She's not able to live in her home anymore. Her health is, like a lot of people who are getting older, is deteriorating quickly. It's rather sad to see. I've already been through that with my own grandparents and now with hers. But anyway, we made a trip up to her home, and my wife's grandmother has been kind of after her for a while. She's been wanting to give her a set of china, some of her nice dishes or whatever, nice china dishes, for her to have, something to pass down. And we took the opportunity to ride up there a couple of days ago with my in-laws and packed up the china for my wife along with some other stuff. The house is up there, it's for sale. They're trying to sell it, and they're slowly trying to clean it out and just get stuff out of the house. So when the time does come that they sell the house, they can move along and get things moved out quickly. So while I was there, I had the opportunity to go out to her grandfather's shop, and her grandfather, he passed away probably about 10 years ago now. And he was a mechanic. He spent his entire, or most of his life, I guess, working as a mechanic. So he was, I don't know what year he was born, probably in the 19-teens, during the 20s and 30s when he was growing up. I can remember talking with him many times. When he was a kid, he worked for a blacksmith, an old-fashioned blacksmith, hammering on hot metal in an anvil. Which I've done a little bit of. I was into blacksmithing when I was a teenager growing up myself, and still do a little bit of blacksmithing now. But anyway, we had a lot of good conversations about that. Well, when World War II started, because of his blacksmithing experience, and you got to remember back in those days, being a blacksmith was kind of like being a mechanic. They were the guys that you would take stuff to get fixed. When World War II started, he enlisted in the Army, and he was actually trained to be a mechanic by the United States Army, and he served during World War II as a mechanic. When the war was over, he came home and decided that would be his profession and started buying up, tools to get into the business. And at some point, I think in the late 40s, early 1950s, somewhere along in there, he actually went to work at Warner Robins Air Force Base, working as a civilian mechanic up there, and spent his entire career working on the Air Force Base as a mechanic. He retired, I'm guessing, back in the 1980s, I'm guessing. It was before I actually got to know him. By the time I got to know him, when I started dating my wife, he was already retired. He was in pretty good health and was able to get around, and he had his little shop at the house where he'd get out there and tinker with stuff, and people bring old cars by, and he'd work on them, and he just had a shop full of stuff. And I had many enjoyable visits up there with him. He was a tool guy, I was a tool guy, and looking at and talking about a lot of his tools. Well, while I was there, I had the privilege of being able to go in and kind of pick out a few of his tools to carry home with me. And he has lots of them. It's probably a couple of truckloads of all kinds of just stuff. And my father-in-law said, yeah, go in there and fill up a box. We didn't have a lot of room to carry stuff home on this particular trip. So anyway, I got this peach box and filled it up with some goodies. So I thought I would kind of share these. These tools here are, I didn't pay anything for them, but they're special to me because, I had a relationship with the person that owned them. And, these are memories. And a lot of these tools, the reason I picked them up is, at least some of them, I remember having conversations with him about, I remember seeing him use them. So anyway, I'll share with you guys the stuff we picked up from my wife's grandfather's tool shed. So in no particular order, we'll just start going through this. And quite honestly, most of the tools there were more mechanic related tools, but he did have some stuff that would come in handy in machine shop stuff. And I picked up some mechanicking type tools as well to kind of add to my collection, which I've got a pretty good selection of those. But we'll start with this. This is I saw do all on this thing, and I picked it up and looked at it and opened it up, and on the inside, you know, nice pair of calipers. The foam in here is just deteriorating. I'm going to have to take them out of this case. It's got some calibration dates on here. June 1979 was one date of calibration, and was good through May of 1980, and then over here it was calibrated again in 1981 with another due date on there. So these they're, you know, fairly old, been around a while. Say do all on there. They need a good cleaning. They look like nice precision calipers. You know, they're nice hardened stainless steel. It's got the dial on here where 1 revolution is 200 thousandths, which is a little bit different than the ones that I'm used to. I actually had another pair like this at one time. Nothing wrong with them at all. You can do precision measurements to 1,000th of an inch with them with ease. Just a little bit different style. But anyway, I picked those up, and we'll find a home for them. Again, in no particular order, I was digging through some shelves and saw this and opened it up. And inside is what appears to be a brand spanking new, I don't think it's ever been used, a pop rivet set. So this is actually a tool that I don't have, and have on many occasions borrowed one from a friend and said, you know, one of these days I need to pick one of these up. So I did. It's even got the original boxes of pop rivets in here, different sizes that don't look like they've ever even been gotten into. So anyway, nice pop rivet set. He worked on a Air Force base, and I could tell looking at at least some of the tools he had, definitely not all of them, but some of them, they were military surplus. And this tool roll here was definitely military surplus. And what this is a set of ratchet wrenches. And these look brand new, Imperial brand, Chicago, Illinois. But you would take these and put them on the head of a bolt. Let me see if I can find a bolt and I'll show you how they work. Hang on one second. All right, so there's a bolt, and you would put this over the top of this, and they would ratchet in one direction, but not ratchet in the other. And of course, you can flip them over if you want to go the other direction. So they just kind of slip on there. They've got a little slip on there, and it's a 12-point socket basically, but it's built into a wrench. These, they look brand new. I don't think they've ever been used. Anyway, I couldn't pass those up. Another tool roll here in a little plastic case, and these are kind of interesting, I thought. So what these are, they're on like a screwdriver, but what they are is they're hex wrenches on a screwdriver type handle. So they're different size hex wrenches for tightening up, you know, different hex sockets, like socket cap screws and stuff. So, you know, these go up, or these start at, well, that one don't see a size on it, maybe 0.035. Okay, so that one's 1/16, and they go up to 9/16, and I'm not sure what size these smaller ones are. They're not marked on there, but they're tiny. But anyway, I thought that would be a nice addition to have. You know, I've got the T-handle hex wrenches, but you know, these will definitely come in handy. Hammers. He had a bunch of hammers of different types, and these were just a couple that I picked up that I kind of liked. So anyway, there's a couple of ball peens here, and well, I've got some small ball peens, and I got some bigger ball peens, but didn't have many in this medium size. So, you know, this is I can see Stanley on that one. You know, it's been, wouldn't say it's been abused, but it's definitely been used. It's still in good shape. The handle's got a little chip down here, but real nice, slender handle. This other one here is Ampco, AMPCO. Probably not as nice as one as this one originally, but this one is almost in mint condition. This hardly been touched. The handle on here has been kind of drilled out to give you some grip. It has the original decal on here, and like I said, I don't think it's hardly ever been used. Also, there were these two bronze hammers or brass. I think these are bronze. So this one here is Mattix, Matticks, bronze, and you know, it's in really good shape. It has been used some, but not much. And then this one here, you know, obviously that one has seen a beating, but it's still got a good bit of life left in it. I may try to grind off some of this stuff here around the edges, but it's still got some use in there. And I don't have many brass and bronze hammers, so anyway, I picked those up. And then there were also just a couple of pieces of brass rod here that he was using as a punch or something to strike where you're trying to hit on something where you don't want to ding it up. You can put this in between and hit this with a regular hammer. Anyway, these are handy to have, so I picked those up as well. I saw he had a couple of these metal cases, and I like these little metal cases for storage, and I said, well, I'm going to take those with me. But of course, they had stuff in them, both of them did. So this first one, when I opened it up, there's a little angle air-powered die grinder. It's got some little sanding disc in here that go on there, and of course you can put in like burrs, carbide burrs, or stones or whatever in this as well. I haven't hooked it up yet to see if it works, but it looks like it's in pretty good shape, so we'll keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully that right there will be a useful tool. But again, the main reason I picked it up was for the box, but then I said, yeah, I like that as well. And there's another one. Let me grab the other one, I'll show you what all was in it. All right, so the second box, when I opened it up, first thing I noticed was it was real heavy, and it was full of all kinds of hand tools. So I think what we'll do is go through here and kind of show you what all was in here. All right, to speed this along, I've kind of divided all the stuff up into by categories so we can kind of go through them quickly. So this first one here is just some ratchet related stuff. So got a couple of 1/4-inch drive ratchets. This one is a snap-on. This one, I don't see a name on it, but it looks like a nicely built one. And I'm pretty sure that's the inside guts to one of these. I'd have to take it apart, but I'm pretty sure that goes in there. And then this is a 1/4-inch. This is a Craftsman, and then just some odds and ends as far as extensions, a couple of sockets. There's a screwdriver bit, another screwdriver bit, Phillips head. Anyway, just some ratchet stuff here. Next, we got some combination wrenches. So one of them here is a ESCO, I guess, 10-inch, and then we got a set of Protos here. This is a 10-inch, an 8-inch, and a 6-inch. All of them in pretty good shape. This 10-inch, you got a little bit of, it's been used a little bit right in there, but all these appear to be in pretty good shape. Good American-made stuff. Next, here's a whole bunch of miscellaneous wrenches, mostly smaller sizes. I think 9/16 is about the biggest one that's in here. A lot of different brands. There's some Craftsman, let's see, Action, Thorson, Snap-on, Meteor, Blackhawk, Herbrand. I saw somebody else with a Herbrand something recently. So anyway, just some miscellaneous wrenches. Most of these I think are American made. There are a couple of cheaper ones in here, but most of these are American made brands. Here's some ratchet wrenches, and these are all made by Langline, Langline, and there's a set of them here from, well, I don't see sizes, on a 1/4-inch, 5/16 up to 1/2-inch and 9/16, 3/8 and 7/16 on that other one. got some different kinds of things I'll put in the pliers category. So here's some wire cutters, so another pair of smaller ones, another wire cutters there, pair of needle nose pliers, a pair of slip joint wrenches. These are kind of interesting. These are protos. If you look, the jaws kind of stay parallel to one another. It's got this interesting mechanism in there. Those are nice. And this is a little Craftsman slip joint pliers. And then just some miscellaneous things that were in there. There's some screwdriver bits here. There's 3 sets of feeler gauges. Just a razor cutter. This is kind of interesting. This is a Stanley, like a Yankee screwdriver, but it doesn't have the ratchet handle that, push handle you see on most of these. It's got this knurled top on there for reaching down in there and being able to use as like a little screwdriver. And of course you can ratchet it in the center section here. It goes in both directions, and then the other way it ratchets the other way. So that right there will actually be pretty handy, I think. And then there was this miscellaneous lock in there as well. And then we just got some miscellaneous screwdrivers, one Phillips head, and the rest of these are flat heads. And that one's a Stanley. The other ones, I don't really see a name on them that jumps out at me, but all of them look like they're in pretty good condition. All right, next, more ratchet related stuff. So these are all these universal joints that have the just a regular socket in the other side for fit different size bolts, but all of them are on these universal joints. And there's a bunch of them in here. Some of these are made by Husky, Esco. I think I saw some Snap-on. There's a Snap-on right there. A lot of these look like they're the same size. I need to go through them and kind of figure out what are sets and what are just kind of random in here. But anyway, these are nice. I've got a couple of different sizes of these. I think 1/2 inch and 9/16, so they, the real common sizes. But I by no means have a set of them. So these will be nice addition to my mechanic tools over there. Files. I've told you guys before, I have a thing about files. I like files. I pick them up anytime I find them. And it's rare that you find them in this kind of condition. The thing about files is that, I don't know, the new files that are being made today, they're just not anywhere the quality as the old files were. The old ones just, to me, generally speaking, are just much better quality. Now, you can still get some good files, the name brand files from like Nicholson, but even the Nicholson stuff now is being made overseas. In China, Mexico, and places like that, where unfortunately the quality I don't think is as good as the old stuff. So I saw all these files sitting in a drawer, and I said those have got to come home with me. So I picked them up, got all the files out, and most of these files are in great shape. They look like they've hardly ever been used. A lot of different cuts in here. I got a couple of duplicates here. All of these are either Simons or Nicholson, good name brand files, and they're all in great shape. So I was real tickled to see this. Also, this little case here is needle files. So these are little small files. There's a whole set of these in here of different profiles. Very handy for doing small precision work. And, I've got some individuals of these, but this is a nice set. I don't have a set of little small needle files, so I was tickled to see that. I also picked up a couple of wooden handles that he had sitting in a drawer. I don't think any of these have ever been used. Maybe that one has been used a little bit. And then too, this little file card. And I've got another one. I think it's identical to this. And I really like this file card, guys. It's a metal framed, and the file card part is just like any other file card. But what I really like about this is it's got this little metal pick that's in here. And you can pull this out, and it's got a little point on there. And a lot of times when you're filing, you'll get some trash in there, and you can actually take this little pick and pick that trash out of these files and get them cleaned out real good if you got something that's stuck in there that the file card doesn't clean out. So I was actually happy to see this. because I don't know that you can still get them like this. You can get just a regular file card, but I haven't seen the ones with these little pick in them for sale anymore. Somebody may still make them, but anyway, that's nice. Tickled about the files. Taps, lots of taps here. Anyway, I was digging through some drawers and found some taps. Most of these look like they've hardly ever been used. Some of them are still in the original wrapping. Interestingly, most of these are fine thread taps. There's only a couple of coarse threads in there. Anyway, I picked those up. Always use taps. Easy outs. Found some really big easy outs. I don't know that I know I don't have one that size. These here are all made by Ace. There's an EX9, 8, 7, and a couple of 6s here. And then these are the more square kind. These are Protos. And there's a couple of different sizes in there as well. So anyway, I may have a couple this size, but these bigger ones, I know I don't have any that big. Hope I never need one that size. Picked up a couple of cold chisels, some punches in here. It's an interesting pair of kind of tweezers. There's a T-handle. That may fit that little Stanley ratchet thing I was showing you from that little Yankee screwdriver type fitting. This is some kind of special tool. Snap-on. It's a PC32. You know, I've seen these before. I used to work in an auto parts store when I was in high school, and it seems like I've seen this tool, but I can't remember what it's used for. Some of you guys out there may immediately recognize it. It's made to drive on. It goes up and goes out to an angle, and this is just kind of ground circular in there. So it's a tool for doing something, and then just some hex wrenches down here. Drill bits, some miscellaneous ones here. I haven't seen what size those are. These are some little sleeves. That's some number 54s, 55s. That's another wire gauge. These here are carbide. I hadn't looked to see what size they are. They're all the same size, but those are nice. And then some packs up here. Number 12s. No, I'm sorry. That's a 12 quantity. So this is 3/16, number 30, more 3/16. And 5/16. And then this nice little drill index here. And this has got wire gauge stuff. This is a 1 to 60 set. Looks like nice American made, older quality drill bits that have never been used. And there's 3 of them in here I noticed we're missing. So there's number 12. Let me turn that around. And then it's missing the number 59 and 60, but the rest of them are all here. So we got that nice, I don't know, I may keep this in this little drill index case. That'll be handy to have in the toolbox to be able to pull them out of, rather than putting these in the drill bit dispenser that I picked up a couple of weeks ago. And getting down to the bottom of the pile, got a little Jacob's chuck here. This is a 30B. It has a threaded hole up here. That's threaded. Well, it doesn't say what size thread that is, but that is threaded. I can tell it's not a Jacob's taper. This one fits 0 to 5/16. Okay, there it is. A 3/8 24 thread in there. Looks like it's brand new, never been used. I didn't see the key to fit it anywhere. Don't know what I'll use that for. And then there was this nice little box here that's got a tape measure in there. 50-foot tape measure, Rowe Precision Chrome, Rowe International Incorporated. And that's got the metal tape in there. This is brand spanking new, never been used, still in the box. Very nice. Well, there you go, guys. Another tool haul. This one wasn't really planned. It wasn't really expected, but it was a nice, nice gesture from my in-laws to let me dig through here and bring home a few things. And you know, these are treasured items. They bring back a lot of memories of Mr. Rudolph Henderson, who these tools belong to, my wife's grandfather. So I'm going to treasure them, and I'm going to get to spend the next little bit of time putting all these things up and putting them up where I can use them and mixing them in with my personal tools, which these now fall in that category. So anyway, thought I would share. Thanks guys for watching. Leave me some comments, and if you haven't already, please subscribe.